Hey there. It's Monday, it's a holiday. We've kind of laid low, and I actually didn't feel good this morning, but I feel better now. And even if I don't feel good, sometimes just pain will make me feel better. So that's what I'm going to do. I just want to show you, I did an 8x10 piece of glass from a frame. This was leftover paint from one of the pours that I did that had kind of these soft, soothing colors, and it was metallics with the pistachio was not metallic, but it was a kind of an icy blue and a silver and copper and champagne gold, and just wanted to show you that. There's no sealer on it, no varnish or anything, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I might paint something over it and put it in the frame, you know, that kind of thing, but that's not a piece of glass. If you have frames that you've used and you have leftover glass, it's a great way to put extra paint on your glass for acrylic skins or cover it fully, and then you've got yourself a piece of artwork. Today I'm going to be using DecoArt paints, and I already have some in my squeeze bottles, which I typically love to use, and so that would be my lamp black, the snow or titanium white, that is purple rain, dioxazine purple, and I'm doing an all purpley violet kind of thing this time, but I want to do it in a more abstract kind of way. I'm going to attempt to, let's put it that way. This is vivid violet, which is in the cup, and I got this marked down, and it's their metallics. It is called pewter. So it's here's their silver. This is a dazzling metallic shimmering silver, which is a really pretty silver. But I want you to see the difference. This is metallic, but this is pewter, and that's silver. So it's not black and it's not silver, but it's pretty dark. But I thought that would be really pretty with the purple tones. So those are also what are in my cups. So those are my colors that I'm using for this pour. And I say pour because it's going to be more of an abstract kind of thing is my plan in my head. I have their pouring medium, and they recommend a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm just going to eyeball it, but I've got roughly maybe an ounce of paint in this cup. These are 3-ounce cups, so that gives me about an ounce of room to play with. I have a little bit more of the vivid violet in here. And the silver. And actually these should not take too long to stir up because DecoArt paints are a little more fluid. They're not as thick as tube paints, and so they mix up relatively quickly, and usually without adding any water to it, which is the great part about it. I think I will have to add some to the pewter, we'll see, but that's pretty perfect right there. That's the silver. This is the vivid violet. And anytime you mix your paints, you always make sure to, totally scrape around the edges to get every bit of paint and pouring medium that you're using together, all one big happy family. And here's the pewter. So we're going to see how this. And actually, I don't need to add water to that either. That's pretty perfect. So, no water. The water was in my red bottle here. I have H2O written on it. So I'm going to put that aside because I don't need it. This is the Spot On Treadmill lubricant. So I've got roughly 2 ounces of mixture in here. So I'm putting 2 drops, 1 drop per ounce of paint mixture. And people also ask me too, you know, about, you know, do I store my paints in the bottles? How long do they keep? They keep forever. I mean, literally forever. I've had paint in my bottles for months, and what happens is when I use it in a pour and the bottle gets low, I mix up more paint in a cup with the pouring medium and silicone, and then I transfer it to my bottle. So I'm constantly adding my paint to the bottles, and so I don't ever empty my bottle out, clean it out, unless I'm changing colors and I've finished a color and I'm going to start a new color. And so, like right now, I've got this little 2 ounce bottle. So I'll just transfer this, and I'm going to move my canvas so I don't pour on it accidentally. But what I'll do is I'll just transfer my paint to this little bottle. And this is one of the neat little bottles that I got. I believe it's DecoArt. But it holds exactly 2 ounces of paint. And it has kind of like a fine pointed plastic top to it, and you have a little, you know, tip that removes and it keeps it from drying out, and so you have a pretty fine point at the tip. And these are kind of like Ryder bottles, but like the Ryder bottle that I keep my white, I always keep white in a Ryder bottle, and it is from DecoArt, and it's also in my link. Most of the stuff that I use is in my link on Amazon recommendations to show you what it looks like. It comes as a screw-on lid, and you put it on any little 2 ounce bottle of paint, and it's like a needle, but it's not a needle. It doesn't hurt you, but it's a very fine, you can literally write with your paint. And then there's a needle inside the cap that goes into the other needle, and that keeps the paint from drying up in that needle. It's really cool. So that's a great item to have. So I'm going to put my other items aside. And I even found these bottles in an art store. They are 4 ounce bottles. So they don't have a squeeze nozzle, but they do have an opening. And you could also, you know, store your paint in something like this. This is a buck and a half, something like that. 4 ounces, and pour, you know, your paint from here. So that is another option. So I have a group of people that I follow on YouTube that I admire, that I love their work, and I like to, you know, like everybody does, you kind of watch people and you learn, and you like to try something that they've tried, and you know, that kind of thing. And that's what I'm going to do today. Is I love the style of a girl on YouTube, and she's on Facebook, M4Art2 or something like that, D, something along those lines. And she does a lot of kind of more abstract-y kind of artwork, which I like. She spins her paintings. I've got a turntable, but I've never really used it, and that might be something I'm going to be doing in the future. And then she also, I don't know why this glove feels so funny. She'll also put her paint in a tray and pour. And I also have a little Tupperware container kind of thing. And I might put my paint in here and do this. I could get a little bit wider amount of paint, but it's kind of shallow, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I also keep white in a cup, a big yogurt container. I keep white mixed all the time because usually I'll start my canvases with a skim coat of white or black if I'm using white or black as my background. So this cup has about had it. When it doesn't want to open, then you know I just used it yesterday, but anyway, the cup starts sealing because that paint starts sticking on the edges, so I'm going to have to toss this one. Well, like if we go out to eat, I'll always get a to-go cup to take home anyway because I can't drink. I had the gastric bypass 3 years ago, and I don't drink a lot of fluid with my meals. I'm not supposed to, and so I always get my drink in a to-go container or cup and with the lid. So it works perfectly for keeping your paint too. This is an 18 by 24, and I'm going to skim coat this with the white. So maybe this is too big, so I might try this container. So I'm going to finish out the white in this cup. Vivid violet. This is Purple Rain. Dioxazine purple, which is, you know, the main color I wanted to use. I want it to have a lot of purple feel. Add a little silver. Go back with some vivid violet. A little white. This pewter color. Purple Rain. Dioxazine purple. So this is totally experimental. Give you the warning ahead of time. Oh, knock it over my paint. Scrapers are good for scooping up paint too. Basically, I'm just filling in that white where I scraped. I didn't like that look. My photo paper here, and I'm just letting this kind of move around a bit. Someone suggested getting some plastic tubing so my head doesn't get in the way, and I am going to do that. I just haven't done it yet. The pewter is an interesting color. It has almost a turquoise or bluish cast to it. It's kind of interesting. If you don't have enough paint and you want to blow, it does not work. You have to have I'm going to put a little pool of paint in this corner of this jug. This is a palette knife that I have. I'm just going to slightly skim over it, just to spread it out a bit. I don't want it to be a true ribbon because there's cells in it, so it's not going to look like a ribbon, but so there's a gap here that I'm not crazy about. Spreading out that white that I added. And I don't care if there's some purple or whatever mingled in, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to stop with this one. It didn't do anything like I wanted it to do. So here it is. This may be a pour over, you know. I may redo it. It just was not what I envisioned. I had totally an abstract thing in my mind, and this is just a lot of cells, and I was just playing with the paint and colors. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.